welcoming you to an all-new edition of Bumwine with Bobcat, and we are putting a final bow on our Malt Liquor May, MD 2020 May festivities here this week. And to join me in putting the final touches on a great month of drinking is our good buddy Roadhouse is back again. Roadhouse, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so excited for this episode.
This is an episode that's been a long time in the making. We didn't even really have this one planned. I had an episode ready to go for this week, but we were going to put that one on the back burner,
right?
Because when you get a special delivery on May 31st, final day of Malt Liquor May, you have to go for it. And this is one that we've been talking about for a while, and this was a malt liquor that myself only got to try 2 years ago when I first came across it. I did a special taste test podcast available in the archives, and we are going to crack it open here because this is one that Roadhouse has wanted for years and years and years, went searching high and low, state to state, all over the country, but now he's finally got it in his hands, and that is the Colt45 the Double Malt. Now, I know you're excited for this one.
I am. You understand where I'm coming from, but I'm talking 20 years from the first time I was on Bumwine.com and I seen 40ouncemaltliquor.com and I seen Colt45 Double Malt. Now, everybody knows me, I'm a Colt45 fanatic. Soon as I seen that there's Double Malt, me and my friend, we went on a road trip that weekend. I'm talking, we did about 600 miles just driving around to the worst parts of town, from Kentucky to Ohio to Indiana, just looking for this stuff to no avail. So now I can say, in my opinion, I have got the Holy Grail within inches of me on ice.
It's waiting, it's staring at you.
Just staring at me. And, you got yours on tap?
I got my can right here, so we're not going to waste any more time. We're doing a special feature here this week. We're going to kind of a simulcast of this one here, where Roadhouse is going to be posting up on, well, if everything goes as planned, which
right.
You never know. We're live, pal. He will be posting this up on his YouTube page so you can see his exact reaction as he cracks open the double malt for the first time. So we're going to grab our cans of double malt as we speak. If you're listening at home, grab your double malt too. If you don't have any double malt, if you can find it, press the pause button right now. Go out, go buy yourself a can of double malt, or if you're lucky enough to find a 40 ounce, that's my next.
Yes.
is my next find, is trying to find a 40 ounce double malt. While the tall boy 24 ounce can is great, the 40 ounce would be the next one that's on my list to find. So pick up whatever Colt45 double malt you can find. If you can't find a Colt45 double malt, you can always crack open a classic Colt45 or Colt45 high gravity, whatever your choice is, as we crack this open here. So we're just gonna.
I'm ready.
Wait. You ready? You ready to go?
Yes.
You tell me when you're ready to hit record on your side.
I'm ready.
We will crack this bad boy open.
It's good to go. I'm cracking it now.
Okay. All right. There it is. I hear it right there. Let me get mine open.
Bob, I'm overwhelmed at this moment that I've literally cracked a tall of double malt. I've been looking forever for this. Forever.
Get that nice aroma, the double malt scent.
All right. I can't take it anymore. Here I go.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. One more. That is smooth.
It is. That was my exact thoughts too. The first time I tried it,
It's
I
like
was.
it's like no, it's not like malt liquor. It's hold on.
Gotta take your time. Take your time to get those thoughts.
It's got an amazing follow. Almost sweet, isn't it?
That I thought that too. I thought it had that little bit of a sweet taste to it, nice and smooth. You know, as the can says, double malt, double up on the rich golden flavor.
Right.
Colt 45 Double Malt keeps it gold. The real American classic lager since 1963. Since, for whatever reason, they don't like to label these as malt liquor anymore on the new Colt 45 cans. But whatever, we all know it's still malt liquor as much as you try to fancy it up.
This, hold on. Okay. I don't know why this is not readily available everywhere. I'm talking, this would go, I don't know if I'd buy anything else ever.
It is. It's a great one. I have that same thought too. I don't know why you can't find it all over. You can find regular Colt 45 and anywhere you go. So why can't you just throw in some double malts in there too? I mean, I would like to know the reasoning behind this.
Right.
I'm going to try to do some research, see maybe we can get to the bottom of it on the
Right.
podcast of why you can't find double malt everywhere.
Because years ago, I used to contact looking for this, so asking, are kegs of Colt 45 available? Besides, where I'm just limited to talls and 40s and high gravity just in talls. Why in my region am I suffering and not be able to get just this amazing malt beverage? And I keep cradling it with both hands because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it.
You don't want to waste. You can't waste any little bit.
I don't. You don't understand.
It's too precious.
You don't understand.
It really is. It really is the liquid gold here.
Where I moved out of the inner city in Louisville, Kentucky, and I moved way out here in the sticks, malt liquor just isn't around so for the whole month of May, I haven't been able to participate in Malt Liquor May. Now, Mad Dog 2020 May has not been a problem. So, you came through for me on the very last day of the month to solidify Malt Liquor May for me for 2022.
It was the gods. The gods were in our favor here for you.
Absolutely.
Get your hands on this package of Colt 45 Double Malt and some other goodies too that were in there that we'll be featuring on the podcast. Some more Wild Irish Rose.
Yeah.
And then also you got yourself a whole big box of Bumwine Bob brown bag koozies.
I do.
And I know those have been a big hit. They've all been delivered. Anybody who placed their orders, I've been getting tons of great feedback. People love the brown bag koozies. So who knows? Maybe there could be another shipment in the future. If you're interested in a brown bag koozie and you missed one this past round, just hit me up and let me know, and I'll add you to the list. If we can get a high demand once again, then who knows? Maybe there'll be another order in the future.
I've really enjoyed seeing the feedback from your followers, tagging you in their shipments and their brown bag koozie usage. It's been very entertaining. I missed the first go round, but I made up for it this time for sure.
Yeah, and the next thing on the list will be trying to get some tall boy koozies in order. That's been the next requested item recently. So you can get your 24-ounce can of Colt 45 Double Malt all wrapped up in a Bumwine Bob koozie.
So if you've got any of the colorful koozies and the brown bag, you can always sacrifice the colorful ones by cutting the bottom off. Slide the brown bag can and then slide the top over the top, and you'll have your tall boy koozie that'll hold you over until we get one out there.
Yeah, you can definitely make your own. You can rig up your own contraption there to make it work. But yeah, I mean, I'm just glad you got your hands on this Colt45 Double Malt.
I cannot send you enough praises. You have come through in a major way. We've been scratching each other's back for a few years now, but this score has been by far, it's going to be hard to top.
Yeah, see, that's what we do here, people, on on Bumwine Bob. We make dreams come true.
Yeah.
And as we said last time, Roadhouse laid down the challenge last time.
Right.
And anybody out there, get on the bottom, get searching for some vintage bum wines, malt liquors, whatever you can find out there. If you can find some of these things, there is a hefty reward out there.
There is definitely. Listen, you got to put in the work. You see that store riding through, that might be your spot. Just take a moment, run inside, look at the bottom shelves, look in the back. There is gold there. You just have to look for it. I found some Cisco a couple weeks back, 4 bottles of it. Cisco Berry. You never know what's going to happen, and when you find it, like the what was that green stuff I sent you? The Wild Irish Rose.
Oh yeah, the wild green apple.
That had to have been there for 10 years. And I found it, just pulled up on a liquor store, ran inside, boom, there it was. Excuse me.
And that was similar too. I sent you over, which we're going to be covering soon, the Wild Irish Rose, the Wild Grape. Now that was one I just found randomly in a liquor store. Now while it wasn't, I was kind of surprised because this was kind of a not higher class, but it was above your bottom rank liquor stores. And I went down the aisle of the usual cheap wine aisle with your box wines, your jug wines, your all the cheap
when you get to that end and you start seeing your Boone's Farm, you're getting real close. That's when your radar needs to be tuned in and really start looking, because that's where you're going to find the good stuff.
Yeah, it was I couldn't remember at the time. It was the Arbor Mist.
Arbor Mist, yeah.
The one you'll always see there. And right there on the bottom shelf, down at the bottom, one row, there is maybe at least 4 bottles. I don't know how far back the shelf went. And I looked at her, I'm like, oh shit, it's Wild Irish Rose. And I looked down and it's Wild Grape.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit, it wasn't totally covered in dust like the one you sent me. But it did have a nice coating on it, so it was definitely sitting there for a while.
Right.
Because I picked up the 2 bottles, one for me, one for you. I bring them up to the register, and the lady just kind of picked up the bottle, looked at it, looked up at me, didn't say anything, put it back down, then scanned both of them. And I think it was $4.99.
$4.99. Same for me. And I did the same thing. And there was 2 bottles. I grabbed them both. They were so old. One had a label on the front. The other one had just a label on the back. So he had something to scan. Other than that, he would have been dumbfounded.
And I was like, okay, what is this? Let's see, 45 cents. All right, I'll take it.
Did I send you the one with the label on the front?
Yeah, you gave me the one with the label on the front. It's almost peeling off. But there was enough on there. So anybody out there listening that is hearing this, don't worry. I think in the month of June, I have a bunch of beverages that we will be covering. We got the Wild Irish Rose. I got some juice. malt beverages on hand as well that I haven't covered yet. So while we covered our nice malt liquors, our MD 2020 in May, we're just kind of going for a June jambalaya grab bag. I don't know what the hell you want to call
Right.
it, but just a mixture of beverages in June that will be coming to bumwinebob.com.
You know, for 2022, there's no more straddling the fence. We're jumping all the way over. We're getting aggressive. We're pushing hard. Yeah, we've got to get back on board with this good bum wine. We got to reach out to the people that make Night Train and Thunderbird and really get this back in production. It's a shame that they've wiped it out. You know, and I look back and I'm like, really regret not partaking more into it now that I can't get it.
I know. But it was at the time nobody knew
Right.
it was going away.
It's been around for so long, you just took it for granted.
Yeah, anytime you go into a store, you would see a few bottles of it sitting there, at least, or usually at least the place that I used to go to. It was always fully stocked.
Correct.
And
you don't grab it because
would go in there, it'd be there. You don't go back for a few months, and all of a sudden it's gone.
yeah, and you don't grab it
what
because
happened?
you still got some on tap.
Exactly.
And if we knew then what we know now, we would have just kept buying it up in droves and having it stockpiled.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we didn't, and we're not future tellers. So now we're in search of, we're reaching out to you guys to put in the work and to get down on your knees and look, because this stuff is out there, and there's a hefty reward for it on my end.
It's definitely out there somewhere. You got 50 states to cover.
Right.
You and me, we're only in one state apiece, and we're doing our best to cover them. But it's floating around there somewhere. It could always be it's sitting in this back shelf in some warehouse somewhere in I don't know, Idaho, or there's something who knows where. But there's a pallet of Night Train sitting there waiting to be claimed.
I'll tell you what, this double malt is amazing.
It is. It's so smooth. It's the same. We didn't say it before. It's 5.6% ABV, so it's the same ABV as the regular Colt 45. But like we said, however they put this stuff together, it's so smooth. It's so good. Well, I mean, you can't go wrong with a regular Colt 45. I mean, it works every time, as the can says. But something about the double malt, just the flavor to it, the little bit of sweetness it has.
And it just lingers. It just stays on the palate. It just stays there, like a good barbecue chip. It just stays there.
Yeah, because I think Colt 45 has a bitter taste to it at all.
Yeah.
But it has a little bit of a bite at the end of it. But this one, the double malt, kicks all that out of there. Just leaves you with this little sweet, savory taste at the very end of your sip.
And this blue can, I mean, it's like pinch me, I'm dreaming. It's in my hand. I'm tasting it in my mouth for the first time. I mean, literally, before my kids were born, I've been looking for this stuff. And now my kids are out, have their own places. They don't have any kids yet, but they're gone. And now I'm an old man. I'm an old man, and I've got it in my hand, and it's like, is this what is that? Is this real life?
Oh man, this is real, my friend. This is legit. We are sitting here right now.
We are.
May 31st, 2022. Colt 45 Double Malt. Roadhouse. Got it. finally he's enjoying it right here. I said we had to document this for the podcast.
Right.
I mean, you've been talking about this since day one, about the double malt and wanting to have this, and recently, since you've become a regular co-host on the show, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about the malt liquor. We drank all the Mickeys, but it was the Colt45 Double Malt that we were sitting there waiting for, and it's here finally.
Finally. And then, you know what? It doesn't let us down. It works every time.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
If I drop dead tomorrow, Bob, my life's been completed. I'm talking, at 50 years old Roadhouse has lived a complete life now.
That's it. You got it. You got the double malt down. You crossed that one off the list, and now it's all come full circle now.
There's only one other malt liquor I'd love to try that I haven't, and it's not as high up on the list as the double malt, but I would like to try some camo.
Yeah, I've never had camo either. I mean, I do have a few things on my list. I'm working up, and I try to keep track on my Untapped. They have that little wish list.
Yes.
On there, and I updated it recently. I forgot to add the camo to it. I'll have to add that one to it. But I still haven't had the Mickey's Ice.
All right. Okay, I'm with you on that one too.
Yeah, but that one did get discontinued this past summer when Molson Coors axed all those
restructuring
budget beers.
Yeah.
I haven't had them. Have you had the Magnum before?
I've had Magnum. Magnum was readily available in this area, and Magnum and King Cobra were on the same level to me.
Okay.
For the longest time, I had a great store in Lexington, Kentucky. It was a Shell Mart on the corner of New Circle and Liberty. It's no longer there. Now there's a Lexus dealership there. But there used to be a Shell Mart right there. You can buy a 40 ounce of Colt 45 for $1.87.
Oh, wow.
You could buy a 40 of Magnum for 99 cents. You could buy a 40 of King Cobra for 99 cents. So, I mean, we would go up there and buy 40s of Colt by the 15 pack. Bring it back to the shop where I worked at, and it went in the fridge. But occasionally, customers that we worked on their cars would bring, malt liquor to us because they knew we loved it. They just didn't want to spend that other 89 cents, so they would bring us Magnum. They would bring us King Cobra. Cheap motherfuckers.
Hey, it's still something.
But it was fantastic because we did not pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. I'll take. If you want to give it to me, I don't care what it is. I'll drink it.
Well, we turned right around and sent them back to the store because locally we have Grippo potato chips that are made out of Cincinnati. Nothing goes better together than a Colt 45 and Grippo potato chips.
That just sounds good.
Yes, and I don't know if you have Grippos in your area, but the twin.
I've never seen them. I don't think so.
All right, that'll be in the next care package for you, for sure. There's a Grippo twin pack. You can buy Grippos in a solo pack, but it's the twin pack. The twin pack's the freshest and the most flavor. You throw a mouthful of Grippos in, take a big slug off your 40. They just go hand in hand. For years and years and years, that was the go-to. But Magnum was readily available. Now, I don't go out and look for Magnum because I'm on the OE and Colt 45 level.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't ever heard great things about it, but I've never seen it. I've never got to try it, so it's just something definitely to cross off the list.
All right.
To try. Same thing with the next one I have here, which was the Crazy Horse malt liquor.
Now, Crazy Horse, I haven't seen that since the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually still in production anymore, because, I mean, people have still checked it in a few times over the past few years, but I don't know if this is just stuff that people had still, or God knows where they found it, so I don't know if that one's actually still in production.
Crazy Horse alone, the bottle alone is worth buying because it's not like your typical 40-ounce bottle. But Crazy Horse, the name matches perfect of how your evening's going to go. I literally have stories about jail time, weekend jail time, not long time.
Oh,
wow. On the Crazy Horse. It does. Then these are back in like 91 and 2 and 3, when Old House was wild.
Wild Roadhouse.
Yeah, I was that guy. I lived for a good time. I still live for a good time. But
yeah, you just don't end up in jail at the end of the day, which is always a good thing. You try to avoid that.
Yeah, but Old Roadhouse, I would still drink Crazy Horse if I could find it.
Yeah.
I'm not out running the streets. I'm at home. I'm enjoying it now. Nothing changed as far as the drinking habits, just the environment changes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You're less likely to end up in jail if you're at home drinking. Usually. You never know.
I mean, for me, that wasn't a deterrent. A weekend in jail, no big deal. As long as I was out in time to go to work.
Right.
That was more important than anything. But if it was worth the good time to spend 2 nights in jail, absolutely. I never cared. It's something we can still talk about today. My old friends and my old buddies, we were ridiculous back in the time, but we had a good time. We weren't disrespectful.
That's the way to do it.
We weren't disrespectful. We just take it to another level than most people.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you just take a little too far.
Yeah. The mouth runs a little bit. That's what gets you in trouble. It's not what we were doing. It was the mouth that got us in trouble. It's the cops sitting there. It's like, everything's cool. You guys can go on your way. All right. Hey, cop, lick the balls. And then
the next thing you know, you're coming with us.
Yeah. That's how it went for me and my friends back in the day.
So we will stay away from the Crazy Horse. And then the next two I had on my wish list here, kind of a tag team from the Schlitz family, is the Schlitz Bull Ice and the Schlitz Red Bull XL.
Okay.
Those are two I have never seen, and I think, at least I know the Red Bull is still out there. But the Bull Ice, I don't know if that's actually in production anymore. I've had the regular Schlitz malt liquor, the blue can.
The blue can.
And I've had the Schlitz High Gravity malt liquor before. But these two, I've never seen. And I know people praise the Red Bull, the Red Schlitz a lot. But I've yet to come across that one, so that's definitely been
See, I can't remember back in the early 90s, and I'm pretty sure it was Schlitz, Blue Bull, Red Bull, but was it also called 1111?
Possibly.
Because I can remember going through a drive-through and just getting 1111 red or 1111 blue. Just depended on the day. But that was a long time ago, and my memory's cloudy.
There's been a lot of drinking since then, so
yeah.
We don't know. It's a little foggy.
If anybody out there knows the difference, put it in the comments either on bumwine.com or my YouTube video I'm about to post on this. But I'd really like to clarify this. Is the Schlitz Red or Blue Bull actually 1111?
And the final one I have here, which I know they don't make anymore, which I never was able to find when they released it, that was the Colt45, the pile driver, which was the orange Colt45 from, this was probably around 2015. I guess this was 2017.
Yeah.
People were posting a lot, but I think it was like 2015, 16, 17. I think it was only available in certain areas. And I went searching all over for it when I heard it was coming out. Just, not that I thought it was going to be really good, but surprisingly, people give it good ratings on here, so I think it was a decent drink. I mean, it's Colt 45 that's orange, so it's like your old brass monkey.
Yep.
So you can't really go wrong with that. So that was one that I highly doubt I'll ever find unless somebody has one in their fridge somewhere, or it's been sitting buried in a cooler somewhere. But probably that one might be one to cross off the list. But I'll hold out hope. Maybe I can find one day.
Well, I seen that, and it didn't spark any interest in me at all. It was one of them things that were like, all right, if I see it, I'll get it. But going back to the early 90s, 91, 2 or 3, somewhere like that, Colt 45 had Power Master.
Oh, yes.
And
never had that either.
I was fortunate enough to have it. And it was ridiculous, especially as a young 21-year-old. I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm used to Old English and Colt 45 and handle it very well. Pound it down, go out, chasing girls, go to the club, this and that. Power Master was on a whole new level. And Crazy Horse was one thing. Power Master was totally on another level. You know how St. Ives High Gravity? Mm-hmm. All right. It's on that level.
Okay.
All right. So that's that kind of buzz. Like, you can easily lose your mind on it. But Power Master, I got to say, I have experienced it. And, it's around, at the same time, you can get Colt 45 in a 64.
I never got to experience that. The Colt 45 in the 64-ounce bottle. That's something I would have liked to enjoy.
Yeah, that and Old English, both of them in 64s. You had to drink them super fast, and in that case, you drank 64 ounces of malt liquor super fast. You're going to jail.
See, hence what we said before. You drink 64 ounces of malt liquor before it gets warm.
Yeah.
Bad things will probably
You're going to make bad decisions.
Yeah, and that's why they no longer make 64 ounces of malt liquor bottles anymore.
It was great.
I would love to.
That was a great time to grow up in. Great time to be an adolescent. It's carried over into my adult life. Not much changed. I still go, as everybody knows, I still go for the old-fashioned, the bum wine, the malt liquors, the cheap stuff. And the thing is I've got craft beer money now, adult money, as they say, but I can't leave my roots.
Yeah, but it's like why spend that money on craft beer or higher
Right.
Stuff? You can stick with the classics, save a few bucks, and put that money towards something else.
Yeah, like vintage toys. I got a bad weakness for vintage toys, and I just bought another $400 worth of shit today.
See, this is what happens. This is what happens, guys.
So you save money here, and you spend it
just goes to
there.
a different spot. Exactly. So what do you think? Final thoughts on the Colt45 Double Malt? What do you think? Get the full.
It was everything I ever dreamed of. It was amazing. It had flavor. It wasn't like a malt liquor that we're used to, and it's got that. Some people say gas taste, or even the swell on this one was still full of flavor.
I guess it's always the real cheap stuff is always that metallic taste to it. While regular Colt45 doesn't really have that, it does have kind of a bitter taste at the end, like we said before. But the double malt has a nice, smooth, sweet taste to it.
If I was blindfolded, and given this to try, I would have been lost. I would not have said it was anything. I wouldn't even really say it was a malt liquor. I would have honestly thought it was some kind of whack-ass craft beer, and I would not have guessed anywhere close. It's got a good strong taste and a sweet follow. It's hard to describe, and as I drink another one later on this week, I might get more refined with my description, but I can't overcome the initial shock that I actually have it. I actually tried it for the first time. So everything I said is honest and pure. It's just that it's almost tearful.
I was going to say, it's just the shock is overwhelming.
It is.
The first experience with it. I've had that before with drinks that you've been looking for, you've been searching, and you finally found it, and the experience just overtakes you to the next level. So you might have to sit down, crack open another one a few days later.
Right.
Just kind of sitting there by yourself, crack it open, give it a sip, enjoy it the second time, because as we've seen before, the first time with a beverage and the second time can be a totally different experience.
Right.
And usually that second time is what the real result is with it. So definitely, I'm sure you'll take the time to crack it open again and with your own thoughts and see how it ranks the second time. I think with you, I think it will still be high up there again. I don't see any change in your opinion between today and the next time, but you never know.
No. The flavor is there, definitely there. Beyond satisfied with the flavor. With the excitement of it and the anticipation and the years of just looking at double malt on the internet, to actually be holding it in my hand is overwhelming. I mean, I don't know how, I can't put it in words. This is something I've literally searched for over 20 years. So, to actually try it, Bob, thank you. Thank you. I can't say it enough.
No problem. You're welcome. Hey, thank you for the box of goodies before. I got all those Mickeys, I got the Wild Irish Rose, the original, my original venture with the Neon Burst, and those came from you.
Yeah, and that came with the payoff.
Yeah, and as people saw, they should have seen the post by now, the box of goodies that the crew over there at the Neon Burst sent over, and stay tuned. Anybody out there listening, we are working on some bigger things here for BumwineBob.com and for the Bum with Bobcat podcast. And could it involve Neon Burst?
Yep.
You never know. Uh, so stay tuned. I know, as we've been saying recently, we're kind of at that point of we're going go big or go home.
Yeah, we've been climbing.
And
We've been climbing that hill, Bob. We've been trucking up, trucking up. We didn't know how high that hill was, but we've got to the point where it's about to break over, and we're about to break through. And when it comes that, it's going to be a snowball effect, and everybody around is going to recognize all the hard work that you've put in over all these years to bring it to the people. 40s, malt liquor, bum wine, malt beverages,
all this stuff, all the best of the worst, and
best
cheap
of the
booze
worst. And you've been
right
putting in the
here.
work, headlining for all of us. And
That's it.
that's
It.
why I jumped on board right away. Right away, I jumped on board because you're a man with passion and you stick with it. And you and I have been going together, collaborating and talking for, well, almost 7 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, yeah, the hard work's starting to pay off and we're starting to recognize. And, yeah, you're the leader of the pack for us.
Well, hey, we're going to keep that ball rolling as we venture on into the next month, as we wrap up here the Malt Liquor MD 2020 May festivities. And what fitting way to end it here with the Colt45 Double Malt. And don't forget to check out the MD 2020, the Golden Pineapple, as the Bumwinebob.com Bum Wine of the Week. It's his first installment, but technically the second if you count the MD 2020 Gold feature from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
On there. But still tastes delicious. Definitely the Golden Pineapple is probably one of the best flavors, drinking it straight up.
Agreed.
And I also mixed it with just some Simply Lemonade the other day, and that was really refreshing. So as we venture now, since Memorial Day is behind us, is the unofficial kickoff to summer. You're sitting out there poolside, hitting the beach, chilling with your buddies, barbecuing, having a good time. Don't sneak away from the classics and the bum wines, the malt liquors, because some of these guys can be really refreshing on a nice hot day to enjoy. So don't sleep on them out there.
And guarantee, if you want to know the honest review of the pineapple, which back then was Mad Dog 2020 Gold, on my YouTube channel, Roadhouse 71, I got the first review on it.
That was right in the beginning.
Yep.
Yes, that was the first review out there of the Gold. And
I don't have a whole lot of content, but there's there's plenty of YouTube activity out there for Roadhouse. But the Gold is my signature. And then there's a couple here and there, but this one today will be posted on there for sure. And you're going to like what I'm wearing anyway when you see it, Bob.
Well, hey, be sure to check them out. If you're not following Roadhouse already, give them a follow. You can check them out at Roadhouse71 on Instagram and on the YouTube. Check them out over there. Don't forget to check out the website at bumwinebob.com. Roadhouse, you got anything else you want
That's
to?
it, buddy. Right now I'm just showing off bumwinebob.com.
You're just on cloud nine over there.
I am.
You're living the good life tonight. You finally got that double malt in your belly. You're sitting pretty there tonight.
I am. I can't express just how joyful I am right now. There's difference between happiness and joy. Happy is one thing, but I am joyful right now, and it's overwhelming.
It's like a Santa Bumwine paid you an early Christmas visit this year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Bumwine Santa, hook me up.
He's always out there. Bumwine Santa doesn't take any vacations. While regular Santa Claus only works one night a year, Bumwine Santa works year round. And if you want to be a part of that crew at the Bumwine, you want to be an elf, one of Bumwine Santa's helpers. Come on down to Bumwine Bob. We're always happy to have more people join the team. You got myself, you got Roadhouse on there. Our good buddy Crude is always out there.
Crude, my dude.
The streets. He's posted. He's out there hitting some concerts these days. Even our good buddy Dennis made his way out of his winter slumber with a new indie wrestling review this past weekend. If he's not complaining about Detroit Tigers baseball on Twitter, you can find him at bumwinebob.com. And as I said, stay tuned. We are working on some things. We can't really spoil anything right now, but there are some features in the works, some new podcast ideas. You never know. We are really rocking and rolling here. So tell your friends to check it out. Check out the podcast. Like, subscribe, leave a review on all your favorite podcast apps. Don't forget to hit me up. Give me a follow at Bumwine Bob. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.